Hello everyone, this is Scott of ET Database. What we're looking at is Giordano Bruno, a crater on the dark side of the moon. And this is a close-up of something I found in the crater. I can't place what it is. I could only guess that it looks like it could be a crashed vessel. Um, a building that was very, very ancient and tipped over. Now it's so shiny, this part of it can't even be photographed. Okay, we've talked about the white ceramic buildings, and this is one of them. But it's been broken open, and you can see these right angle walls right here, these walls. And these walls are huge. They really are. Now if I zoom out, you can kind of see that this is a screenshot, but the original photo is actually 250 megabytes. So I'm just showing you the screenshot at the moment because it's just a little bit less laggy. But what do you think of this? What do you think of this? Do you think it's just a rock? Do you think it's nothing? Coincidence that these two giant rooms, it looks like rooms right here, have these walls. Is it possible that this was a structure and it was broken in half and the piece rolled off? If structures are made on the moon, and let's say they were abandoned a million years ago, 5 million, 50 million years ago, 100 million years ago, they probably sustained quite a bit of damage. Earthquakes, volcanoes, or whatever happens on the moon. But this looks to me like a alien structure. Here's another structure. It's a black object that appears to have crashed, made a little crater here, and it looks like it slid all the way through here. So you can see where it slid, and you can see this black object right here. And it looks more like it landed than was a meteor or something. So let's take a screenshot of that, drop it in, and let's look at a close-up of that object. That is the object right there. It's pretty awesome. You can see, nope, cancel that. It's pretty focused. Okay. But whatever the object is, it's really unusual, and it created a very long sliding hole along it where it crash landed and came to a stop right here in this white area, which is kind of unusual. Okay, here's another photograph. It looks like it has some objects inside of it, and you will also see that there is kind of more objects down here. But this is what I'm looking at right here. It's almost like a ship has been cracked open like an egg, and what you see is two huge metallic buildings coming out. What the hell are we looking at, guys? Really, what is that? Honestly, can you see this? What we're looking at is this big white object which looks like the outer skin of a ship, and it's so reflective. It must be very shiny. But look at these objects inside. I mean, this almost looks like a tugboat or something right there. And this thing has arms and tubes going around. See if I can sharpen that. I'll lose some resolution, but can you see anything? Is there a difference? Not really much there. Sorry guys, these are really tiny in this photograph, so I'm just trying to point these objects out. Like I said, this looks like a big outer skin of something like a ship, and appears to have been broken off, and these two structures are coming out. Maybe two mini ships inside of the big ship. Who knows what it is we're looking at, but whatever it is strange. It is strange. And there's some other objects like down here, really odd. Some of them look like rocks, but some of them like this, it's a head scratcher, man. I really don't understand what this could be, other than two ships coming out of another ship that landed or is broken or something. But it doesn't look like it's broken with this edge, does it? The edge looks rather normal, like it had opened up. Okay. And there might be something here too. What is that? Let's sharpen it and look at this object. Can't see it very well there. Losing it. Ooh, you can kind of see these two objects better though. Hard to tell. Let's go to the next object I found in this Bruno crater on the moon. What we're looking at is in the upper left-hand corner right here. It is another skin of a ship or something with a black object coming out. See how big I can make that. Now, can you see that? The white is a shiny skin of like a garage or a ship that had landed, and there's another object, a black object coming out. Let me sharpen this a little bit. Maybe it will. Nope, doesn't help at all. I keep trying though, don't I? I keep trying. But there's a black object coming out of here. So it looks like they had garages or ships that had landed and was carrying other ships, and these objects tried to get out, but apparently just stopped and were left there forever. Probably abandoned, like I said, for millions of years. I mean, who knows how old these things on the moon are? But that is strange, isn't it, guys? Right there. Here's another object that looks like a building itself or a crashed ship, nosedived and just got partially buried here. But it doesn't seem to be natural to me. Now, there's a little bit of doubt in my voice, of course, because it's hard to tell. Look at its covering. It looks like it's been through hell and back. But in some ways, it sort of looks like a building or structure also. Let me try to zoom in best I can here. We got two objects back here, and don't think it's related to any of this. I'm going to try to sharpen, see what happens. Didn't work on the others, but it might work on here. Brings out, oh, look at that. There's another wall over here. I didn't see that back there. Okay, so sharpening brought that small detail out. But whatever this object is, it is extremely confusing and baffling. It doesn't look like a building, doesn't look like a ship, but yet it looks like it was constructed for a purpose. Now, what is this small little triangle thing down there? Oh, there's so much here, but it's mostly the big object I'm looking at. Let's go back to normal there. Okay, that's normal. Okay, let's check out the next structure. Ooh, there's something down here too. Now here's something, again, is very strange. Look at the object in the middle of the picture, in the lower middle too. They are giant white fungus mushroom-like buildings, and on top of these mushroom fungus buildings are these other black structures, which almost blend into the rocks really well, but they don't appear to be rocks. Look at that. Do you see these objects here? Look at this. Look at the edge. That looks very intelligently made, like it was grown partially, but yet with purpose. I mean, it's been created. But there these black objects on it with little hair-like things. I think those hair things are like tunnels and things. They're much bigger than hairs. Okay. But I just wanted to show this to you. And then if you come down, there's another one a little bit with some black objects on it. You can't see much detail there, but I just wanted to point that out to you because it seemed extremely baffling. But there was a Sergeant something Wolf that said that there was fungus-like buildings that he saw in photographs, and this does have a fungus-like appearance from the side. What we're looking at here is a wall structure at the center of the photograph. Looks like there's a building here, a white building here, and another one here. However, this one here has black structures coming out of it. There's no white roof on it. Perhaps it's never been finished, or perhaps I didn't want to finish a white roof on it. But if you look at it, there are structures inside of it. These are black buildings. They're actual black buildings inside of this. I don't think the detail is good enough to zoom in that far, but can you see the buildings? Okay, so this has not been changed at all. It's pretty normal. Let me see if I can add some contrast to it, and that really destroys it. You can't see it very well with the contrast. Back to normal again. These white ceramic buildings are very difficult to photograph, but these do look like this one here and this one look like long rectangles with a round opening here. But this one, this long one, with all these black structures, this structure right here stands out. It just blows my mind right there. Can you see that structure? My cursor's circling it. It's a rectangle structure with a tube, black tube coming out, and some round orbs on top. Can you see that? It's right above my cursor. I know, move my cursor. Okay, let's move to the next photograph. When I first saw these two structures here, I almost overlooked them. I went right past something and suddenly, wait, did you see the fork in the building? The archways. Did you see the two archways? And I went back and I realized these were structures, alien structures. Of course, our brains are not programmed to recognize them very well. But if you look at them, you can see this dark entrance way right here. And you can also see down here this fork, this Aquaman kind of fork archway. Can you see the archway here? It's like McDonald's or something. Okay, a big M. And it has this giant, huge opening there. So this is a building, and it has a little bit of artistic structure to it, which is rare. I don't see that much in these structures. But it is kind of interesting. Let me sharpen it a little bit. Didn't it help again? Don't do that. Let's try to deepen it a little bit. That doesn't help either. What about dehaze? Dehaze? Dehaze. No, but you can kind of see the curvature of the structure a little bit better, but let's put it back to original. And you see there is an inner wall here that is kind of broken, or maybe it's supposed to be that way, but that's as big as I can get that one. However, there's two structures here. I shouldn't ignore the other one. The other structure, I don't know. These just look like big black rocks next to it, or maybe that's the end of the structure and they just decided to go with that look. But what do you guys think of these? I mean, at first glance they look like rocks, but then when you begin to focus on the details, it just makes your mind go, what the hell? I mean, you really, it's like, wow. I mean, these are huge. And it's on the dark side of the moon, guys. The dark side. Of course, we can't see that side. That side never turns to Earth. Never does, for a specific purpose. I did not add anything to this photo. It's just naturally this bright because these are white material structures or rocks around. But what I'm looking at is this huge tubular object in the top. Can you see it? And it's right here, this long tube, and it looks like it's broken here with a smaller tube going down. But look at the opening. This black area is the opening of the tube. And something, again, is coming out, and there's two huge, like, windows here as the front nose is raised. Apparently, the people who left in such a hurry that a lot of their ships are only halfway out of their hangars, if that's what they can be called, because I don't know, garages, buildings, I don't know what they're called. But a lot of these have buildings or ships hanging partially out of these structures. So it looks like they left in a big hurry and that this destruction we see, it might not have been an occurrence that happened naturally after all. Perhaps there was a little political or social or cultural disagreement with another species out there. I really don't know. All I could do is guess, because that's what we have. We have assumptions. We make hypotheses. We make educated guesses. And that's what I'm trying to do. If I didn't make an educated guess, I wouldn't be much of a researcher, would I? Because that's what researchers do. They make hypotheses and they present them to the public. And that's what I'm doing, is presenting to you that this object is a huge white tubular object, and this area is opening, revealing that it's not so white on the inside, and there's a object, maybe a ship, I believe, coming out. Let's see, can I make it more bright to see those windows? I want to see these two windows here. That doesn't help me see the windows. Okay, let's move on to the next. In this particular close-up, there is a structure. It looks very dome-like to me, and it has an opening at the top of the dome that's also round. You might see some other kind of little structures here and there, but this is what I'm focusing on right here. Let's try to sharpen that. It does work better. Let's hold that. Let's zoom in. Remember, this is a 250 megabyte, so I took screenshots of what I found, and I'm showing you those screenshots because my computer's a little laggy if I try to show you that 250 megabyte photo all the time. But you see this dome-like object here. Let's undo, go back to original. I still don't like that, doesn't feel right. Let's deepen it. Too much, can't do that. Let's add brightness. And then a little deepen. That seems to help a little bit. It seems like this side, the side that we're looking at, is opened about 30 or 20%. That is my guess. It looks like there's tubes going inside. Can't see it very well. Okay, let's move on to the next photo. The structure in the upper left-hand corner is again another open kind of building, garage-like object with something sticking out. Perhaps it's the door that's slightly ajar, but you can see the white skin of this structure, and there is something really interesting just hanging there inside. That looks to me like a door that has opened a little ways, but not opened very far. And just thought I'd point that one out to you. It's a little hard to see again. Man, of course it's hard to see. It's like ancient, probably. I'm sure a lot of these things were around millions and millions of years, far before there was any intelligent life, human life on Earth. So that looks like a structure to me, and it has an opening there, and it looks like, again, it is just an alien structure of some sort for some purpose, but it doesn't look like a ship to me. But who really knows how long it's been there, or what it really is? We'll never know what its functions are until someone actually gets there to check it out. And there does seem to be some rectangle object down here, kind of neat looking with an arrow head in front. Now what we're looking at here seems to be a couple buildings, and some of the buildings are tied into the others. Like this looks like a building, a building, a building, but down here, these objects with all these little pieces around, it looks like almost like a person with an arm and an arm hugging another person. Maybe those are actually buildings, and those arms are actually tunnels so they can traverse from one building to another building. And this building right here looks very similar to this one, with a square on top, the square on top, the square on top. These three objects are just, there's too much in common to say that they look natural to me. But like I said, who knows? It's just my opinion. But I could be wrong about it, of course. There are a lot of things in this photograph, and they don't look normal to me. Like this object up here, this object over here. Again, this one looks opened, and this one looks more like a building. Like these two look like something we would construct here on Earth. Okay, guys, this is the full photograph right here. It's 250 megabytes. It is no small one at all. It's kind of big and does cause my computer to crash, so I don't want to do it too much. But as you see, here is the fungus one with these black objects on it a little bit, and as I zoom out, we can see some other objects around here. Right here, there's something really black, and there's a round object here, kind of neat. A triangle object. These look like structures to me. Now, I could be wrong, but I really think they look like structures. Let's zoom over, and looks like there's a structure right here. A lot of these things are buried or underground and revealing a little bit, so it's kind of hard to see them. But if you have a fast enough computer, I don't think you'll have trouble with this at all. I'm considering buying a new computer. I do need something faster. This black object does not look like a rock to me, but it's hard to tell. And there's some amazing structures in this photograph, but like I said, you have to go around and check it out for yourself. You have to see what you can find, and you might find something of significance to you. Your eyes will see things, mine won't, and I think that's kind of important, because we all focus on different details. So I think that's important, because we all bring different things to light. We all bring different details to the table that maybe others were not focused on. Wow, is that kind of cool? I don't know, it looks like a whole bunch of swords sticking out from the wall or something, little buildings up there. But anyway, this is the full photograph, and I just wanted to share that with you so you can see it. Some places are lighter and some are darker, and here is that main structure I started the video off with right here. It's really huge, guys, and you can see these walls, really big walls right here. What I thought was rock the first time I saw it, then I saw these walls sticking out and these black structures. Some of those are black structures there protruding. So this is Scott C. Waring, VT Database. Like and subscribe, and tell me your thoughts about some of these weird things I found in this on the dark side of the moon. Okay, like and subscribe, guys. See you later.